And today, we are bringing topics starting from the politics in the education sector, the security sector, and that of every story is trending all over social media. Not just social media, but we are bringing it down to your closed door. Here in Living TV, we are committed in ensuring that you get updated with the latest happening. Today, we are starting with our newspaper analysis, where we have newspapers and stories making headline across the nation and the globe. And we are bringing it to your forefront to ensure that adequate information is being supplied and disseminated to you. You are watching Living TV. Starting on with our newspaper for today, we are starting with the Saturday Vanguard. On the Saturday Vanguard, 701 billion naira probe, where how money and power spark tensions among APC governors. And still on that, Tinubu is saying that more reforms are coming. More reforms are really coming in Nigeria. And he says that subsidy removal is a very necessary sacrifice. And away from that, on terrorist attacks, insecurity that has happened in Borno and Oyo states, where students have been kidnapped and teachers killed in Oyo and Borno schools. Therefore, government has already ordered immediate closure and evacuation of schools and students in the area. And again, let's also know that gas leak has hit Ogun schools. Over 100 students has been hospitalized in Ogun State. That's a very, very tragic one. Always, we starting with the insecurity. I just pray that everyone will have to be safe wherever you are going in Nigeria. Wherever you are stepping out, whatever you are doing, you have to be conscious and open your eyes widely. Still on the Saturday Vanguard, we are seeing on the APC tickets that governors and aspirants are at war. See that in page 10. And to see more, that the state executives of the APC insist on consensus, while the aspirants are demanding for direct primaries. Read more on that. And we are also having another story making headline, where someone is saying, I will not step down for Atiku, Amechi, and any other person coming to challenge me. Who is saying this? This is coming from Hayatuddin. Hayatuddin is saying that he will not step down for anyone who is coming to challenge or defeat him. Read that more on page 21. And on that, we move over to South Africa, where we have the xenophobia attack happening in South Africa, where Ononaju has reacted to the June 30th expulsion threats. Let's to remember that the South African leader, Fakir, has already told foreigners that they should go now or after June 30th, that they may not control their people again in South Africa. So therefore, Ononaju has reacted to that June 30th expulsion threat from the leader in South Africa. Read up in page 28 of the Vanguard. Still on the presidency election, 2027 election presidency, the NDC's one term zoning to South has already sparked praise and knocks all over the nation. On page 13, you see that and read more, where arrangements a master stroke. This is coming from Okorie. Articles entry may threaten Obi chances. Articles entry may threaten Obi chances. Coming from Ositokun. How southern fragmentation may favor the north. Well, Dangote Petroleum Refinery also sues federal government over fuel import license to 6 companies. This is all we have for you on the Saturday Vanguard newspaper. Moving on next, we are moving to the Saturday Tribune. On the Saturday Tribune, no regret over subsidy removal. single foreign exchange market. Who is saying this? This is coming from the President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And also on the Saturday Tribune, on the 2026 Hajj, remember that Nigeria has recorded 4 deaths during the 2026 Hajj. Read up in page 5. And also, government has stormed schools, abduct many students in Borno and Oyo states. You can read up that in page 3 of the Saturday Tribune. 3-horse race will defeat Tinubu. This is coming from the ADC, boasting that 3-horse race will definitely defeat Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the presidential seats. And also, he says it may still work with Obi and Kwankwaso. Well, read up on that on the Saturday Tribune to see more. Don't stake your children's school fees on nomination forms. Don't stake your children's school fees on nomination form. And also, it is only those who have money that are willingly and eligible to run for political positions. This is coming from the governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodinma, warning politicians over their intention to run for political offices in Nigeria. Atiku demands El-Rufai release before Edekabe. The presidential candidate of the ADC, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has demanded that El-Rufai should be released on or before the Edekabe, that is the celebration of the Muslims. And on that, Tambuwal's former deputy, Ganiya, has been emerged as the ADC governorship flag bearer in Sokoto State. Read up in page 4. And away from the Tribune, Saturday Tribune, we are moving over to the Matrix newspaper. On the Matrix newspaper, we will not read much on that because there are some subsequent bulletin that will bring to you to the trending topics making headline for the day. And on that, on 2027 election, all political parties beat deadline, submit their membership registrars to INEC. Wow, that's a nice one because INEC has already given them deadline to submit both their membership registration and also conduct their primary screening and every other necessary indoor internal processes for the 2027 general election. On that, says that submitted registers will undergo detailed verification processes, and political parties and INEC deepen commitment to credible election. Commission denies backing any political party. There has been rumor allegedly making waves on social media that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is truly backing a political party, but they've come out to say that the commission is not in any way backing any political party. They are independent, they are on their own, and they are to ensure there is a very credible, fair, and a united election in 2027 in Nigeria. And on that, EFCC drags Blessing CEO to court over alleged 36 million naira duplex fraud. Well, we'll not talk much on that, but keep watching Living TV because we are bringing that to you on the trending topic for the day. School children feared abducted in fresh Boko Haram attack in Borno State. And on that, federal government health upgrade of Nigeria's sovereign credit rating by S&P Global to P. And still on that, there has been Tanita boasters on Nigeria maritime war chest with 15 gun bid for Army and the Navy. Away from the matrix, we are moving to the day's newspaper. This day newspaper, where we are seeing that 2022 registered political parties have submitted their membership registers. This is coming from INEC, confirming the registration of the 22 political parties that have submitted their membership list. Labour Party, NDC, ADC, and PDP factions hold primaries. And on that, APC shifts House of Rep primaries and challenges. Their challenges they are currently going on. The party disqualifies for 4 Federalist loyalists in Rivers State. This is APC in Rivers State. And also, We have a particular comment that has been making actions, creating actions on social media, which says, "Don't stake your children's school fees on primaries," coming from Hope Uzodinma, telling all the APC and political aspirants. Tinubu to Nigerians. Tinubu is assuring Nigerians, telling them, "Re-elect me for more work and reforms in first 2 years. Re-elect me in that position as your president. Let me make more reform and also to work for you in the next first 2 years." Wow, this is coming from the president of Nigeria. I still wonder how he intends to do that in less than 2 years when he has been given 4 years to do better. I just wish him success in that. Well, away from this day, we'll be going on a commercial break right now. Once we return, we shall continue to finish up with our newspaper headline for today. Stay with us. Welcome back. You are still watching Living TV, your number one television channel in Southeast Nigeria. We bring every stories full detailed and the latest trending to your doorstep. You are still watching the newspaper analysis, and we just finished with the This Day newspaper. We are moving to the Guardian. The Guardian weekend newspaper for you. And we are seeing headlines on the Guardian newspaper, where reforms Tinubu says in Kigali, reforms are already establishing Nigerian economy. You can see that on page 2. He described the subsidy removal, tax reforms as necessary sacrifices to Nigeria. Nigeria must support local industries and deepen regional cooperation. This is coming from our president, the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And also on the newspaper, NBC and the BON to strengthen ties to deepen industry collaboration. You can see that in page 3. NBA and the CIFIN unite against forgery in the 2027 election. I say that again. NBA, CIF, and CFIN unite against election forgery in 2027. And on that, Nigerian police officers dismisses officers for robbing victims of 19 million naira in phone point heist. Well, you can see that in page 38 of the Guardian newspaper. And we can see a picture of the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the managing editor of the African Report, which is Nicholas, during the presidential media session at the African CEOs Forum in Kigali, in Rwanda on Friday. And we can also tell you that the report reaching us from the Living TV reporter is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has returned to Nigeria in Lagos, Nigeria. Well, moving on to the Guardian weekend. On the 2027 political election, where the SDP writes INEC to submit Adebayo's detail as presidential candidates. And on that, you can see that on page 3. On the page 3, the new forest weather operational guideline take effect from June 1st. This is coming from Kadoso. And you can also see a group of photographs of CEOs, managing directors, and others in the Nigerian Export Processing Authority, and others at the World Free Zones organizations during their annual convention over there in the country. You can see that on page 37 to read more. Away from the Guardian weekend newspaper, we are moving to the last newspaper we have for today for you. That is coming from the Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper, we are having a statement that says, I will do more in second term. I will do more in second term. Vote for me. Re-elect me. I will do more in second term. Who is saying this? This is coming from the Bola Ahmed Tinubu, vowing that he will do more in the next election if re-elected. OECD backs president reform agenda with fresh investment and data. See that in page 5. INEC to subject party membership registers to verification, says that 22 parties have met deadline for submission of the registration list. And on the Nation newspaper for today, Saturday, on the primaries, APC reps big wish battle to retain seat. APC House of Reps big wish battle to retain all their individual seats in the House of Representatives. Aspirants are anxious over non-release of election guidelines from INEC, and on that, there has been tension in Edo, Ondo, and Ekiti states and others as shadow pool kicks off. Yes, tension is currently ongoing in Edo, Ondo, Ekiti, and other states as shadow pool kicks off with immediate effects. And on that, APC clears 21, disqualifies 4 Fubara's loyalists in Rivers states. There has been a controversy over Kaduna aspirant Buba's age. Over the Kaduna aspirant, we saw the Buafism politician who has the intention to represent his constituency in the Kaduna State House of Assembly, which is Honorable Buba. So there has been a controversy over his physical look. See that and read more on page 4 and 5. And remember, we are also bringing to you a story trending on relating to the Honorable and his colleague. Still on the Nation newspaper, EFCC arrests influencer known as Blessing CEO over alleged 36 million naira property fraud. And on that, many adopted as Boko Haram invest Bono Primary School, and 2 die as government adopt principal and staff students in Obomoso. Well, this is all we have for you on today's newspaper analysis. Stay with us. Coming up next is our trending topics making headline on all social media. Keep watching Living TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are still watching Living TV, your number one station bringing the latest to you. Coming up next, we are starting with the trending topics on all over social media in the globe, not just Nigeria. Starting from the tragedy ones, the comic ones, ranging from security, politics, and that of infrastructure in the nation. We are starting with the tragedy stories making headline across the nation. We are commencing with a very tragic news that's happened in Nigeria towards this week, where a Nollywood very popular star, model, and influencer known as Alex Ekubo has died at the age of 40 from kidney cancer. It was reported that the charismatic Nollywood actor and former Mr. Nigeria runner-up passed away on May 11, 2026 at Evercare Hospital in Lekki, Lagos State, after a brief battle with his metastatic kidney disease or cancer. This was uploaded or made through his family while making the announcement on Instagram, and also paying his last tribute on his social media handle on Instagram, which has sparked reaction, cries, people lamenting, wailing on all social media due to how the Nollywood actor went offline since 2025 after making his last post on Instagram, where he celebrated his cultural identity of the masquerade, demonstrating how it looks like, how it's being represented, and how it's being recognized nationwide and the global. The great man from Arochukwu in Bendo local government was popularly known for his sexual and romantic smile in movies and in reality, and also his major roles in the Nigeria movie. Well, still on that, he is known for his films like Weekend Getaway and his roles in Yemi Alade's Johnny video. Ekubo earns the award for his versatile performances that lit up screen across Nigeria. Tribute has been poured in and from figures like Peter Obi and singer Casey and Davido and other the Nollywood star and the world celebrity, urging everyone to console themselves during this life struggle, while the fan cherished his joyful energy and called for kidney cancer awareness, given his silent progression. Well, it has been a very, very sad story of this young man demise for this week. Well, Alex Ekubo has been known for his energetic move in the movie industry and entertainment industry. There are some clips we've made for you to take a look at this young man's face for the last time, and in order for us to always remember his memory and keep it alive. We here from the Living TV, we are commiserating with the Ekubo's family and fans all over the world. Let's take a look at some clips we've made for you. Let's watch.
Send me money. Send me money.
Dear fans, everybody that encounter nothing but love for you. Like, you can literally hurt me and I'll still look at you. Not to sound blasphemous, but from the point where Jesus looked down and said,
"Who is that?"
It's Alex Ekubo. Please, though, I am tired. I want to rest.
Alex, what are you doing here? Alex, what brought you here? It's cancer, sir. I did all I could. Come with me.
Before his demise, Alex Ekubo has been someone known to be a lover of Christ, to be prayerful, to be supportive to the Nollywood industry and to his fans across the world. Much of his recognitions and award which he backed all over the world. Well, Alex Ekubo has been a very, very close friend to his friend and a brother from different families, which is known as Ike Ogbonna, who is currently still in pens for the loss of his dear friend. Well, there has been a trending video of Alex Ekubo where he also had fun with his friend Ike Ogbonna, which has also sparked reactions on social media. The fans all over the social media platforms have already created flyers, videos, and every other AI generated videos in order to commiserate with the family. Well, all we can say is rest in peace, Alex Ekubo. Your legacy can never be forgotten. All of us here in Arise Living TV, we are celebrating you. Away from that, we are moving over to the next story making headline on social media. Well, there has been a story making headline on social media where influencer Blessing CEO has been arraigned for alleged 36 million naira property fraud. Okoro Blessing Nkiruka, popularly known as Blessing CEO, was arraigned in Lagos Federal High Court on May 15, 2026 for allegedly scamming one Mrs. Ifeyinwa Nonye Okoye out of 36 million naira by falsely promising a Lekki duplex lease in July 2024. Her lawyer said that she refunded 24 million naira and sought time to settle the rest, but the judge ordered her to plead not guilty and remanded her in EFCC custody until June 5th. Therefore, the case highlights EFCC's push against property fraud and scam in Lagos State, separate probes into her fundraising. Well, I must say that this should be a lesson to be learned from Nigerians from what happened to Blessing CEO, because there has been a lot of scammers, most especially in Lagos and that Abuja area. Well, as you can see, that this has already sparked reaction from this young lady who has been indulged in such criminal acts. Remember, they said that this case is not related in any way the illegal fundraising she has made online related to her health issue, which she claims she has. These are already sparked reactions on X and other social media handles, which fans and Nigerians have already dropped their comment reacting to it. Some said this is a great lesson to be taught. Some criticized EFCC for getting her arraigned or arrested. Meanwhile, there are politicians over there out there who are already taking the public fund, embezzling the public fund illegally. Let's take a look at some comments from some fans who have made drop their comments or their views or their thoughts, like I said, on social media handle. We are taking the first one from S. This is coming from I Am Shy. I Am Shy says, it's still not true because anything concerning this girl is never true. Now part of her PR stunt is not real. Were Nali CEO, you oya were gang. No worry, next breaking news will be she dining at the feet of God and she calls Satan to join the table. Wait for it. And also, there has been a comment from Chigonu who says 36 million naira is no small amount. Property fraud is a serious issue that needs to be addressed quickly to protect investors. It's good to see the EFCC following through on these cases. Transparency is the key for the real estate sector. Well, looking at the screen, you see pictures and the videos of this young lady, the popular Blessing CEO, who is popularly known as a controversial influencer, a therapist as she claimed, and also a counselor. I just pray that the EFCC will do justice to this and for Mrs. Ifeyinwa to gain her money back. You are still watching Living TV on trending topic for the day. To continue, there has been a video sparking and making waves on social media platforms where an APC aspirant, popularly known as Dr. Blessing Abomere, who is contesting for the House of Representatives in a task called Federal Constituency in Edo State. He was seen helping the elderly women to fry garri. Why some people say that this is always their trick whenever election is coming up. Some say that he's a man who loves helping the elderly ones. Well, we wouldn't know, but it is left for the people of Esako Federal Constituency over there in Edo State to decide during the election. Let's take a look at the clip of the video to see what happened. That is it. What you just watched is the politician who was seen involved in garri frying over there in the local government of Edo State. Well, all I can say is that wonders shall never end. You know, whenever it is political while a political time like this, you see all of them getting indulged in massive movement and massive responsibilities, trying to claim that they can do more or you can have easier access to them. I just wish him the best of luck in anything he is doing over there. Away from that, we are moving over to Rwanda. Where we have seen President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has called for African unity and investment in Kigali CEO Forum. Well, at the Africa CEO Forum 2026 in Rwanda on May 14th to 15th, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu pushed for inter-African trade and youth support, and also AFCFTA leverage under the Scale of Fair theme. So on that, he highlighted Nigeria's reform to show and to draw $20 billion in investments, fix infrastructure gaps, and $14 billion urban shortfall, and lead continental growth, and alongside leaders like Paul Kagame. There has been a viral clips of his remark, including a light mic mishap and an old nutrition quote, which has already drawn mixed online reactions. Critics call that gaffes, while supporters praise the bigger vision on taxes and reform from Mr. President. Well, this has happened even when he also made this post on his X and other social media handles, announcing the news of his participation in the CEO's forum in Kigali over there in Rwanda. And he says, our continent cannot build scale by looking outward first. So therefore, we must invest in one another, trade with one another, and also get the support that they need, and give African businesses the confidence to expand across African borders. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu continued by saying that Nigerian reforms are not just only about fixing yesterday, but they are about preparing our economy to lead in the Africa of tomorrow. With AFCFTA, we great digital trade, shared infrastructure, and stronger logistics, commodity exchange, and deeper private sector partnership. So therefore, we turn Africa population and resources into real continental prosperity. He went further to say that the global risk and financial architecture must also give Africa a federal that also recognizes our local nuisance and the test. And he says that he thanked his brother, President Paul Kagame, for his warm hospitality and for Rwanda's continued leadership in showing what discipline, clarity, and execution can do for development. Lastly, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu went further to describe Nigeria that will continue to work with Rwanda and other African partners to build a continent that produces more, thrives more, and connects better, and compensates with greater confidence in the world. Africa's future will not be handed to us. We must build it, own it, and defend it together. This is coming from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of Nigeria. The pictures will be seen on the screen, and the clip video are where to show the visual media of where the president participated in that. And also, we are to remind you that the president is done with his African tour, and he has returned to Lagos, Nigeria, to continue with his official duties as the 001 of the nation. Away from that, we are moving over to the latest trending video that has been sparking and making headlines on social media. Here in Aba, Abia State, there has been chaos at Aba over murder case. It was reported that yesterday, a keke man, a tricyclist, who stepped down from his keke to interfere on how to get his passengers loaded, was shot to death at Azikiwe Road in Aba, Abia State. Yesterday was a very chaotic movement where we saw security agents such as the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Police Force and the Nigerian Response Squad had to invade in the premises in order to ensure that the cause of the deceased was being taken. And also, a relative had been contacted to get the body notified and other family members notified about the incident. This has already sparked reactions where some security men were seen flogging innocent Aba residents just moving about, while some were seen running away from such crime scene. Well, we don't have to say much about it, but all I will have to say is that our security agencies should also know their limitation, because I personally witnessed that yesterday. The video you are about to watch is just a clip, a highlight of what happened over there, and so the movement of Azikiwe Road in Aba, Abia State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at that. Because of time, I mean, you go to okay. Well, that you just watched was what happened that yesterday. Although our reporter was not able to talk to any resident over there due to how insecure it was that yesterday, and also we were not able to get a close video of what really happened or the cause of the disease. But all we can say is that we all have to be very, very careful wherever we see ourselves. It shows that there has been insecurity in Aba, Abia State. So therefore, we really call on the government of Abia State, heavily led by Dr. Alex Oti, to intervene in such insecurity in Aba, Abia State. Away from that, we'll be seeing there has been a viral video sparking and making headline on social media where two dwarfism politicians have been seen having friendly discussion and enjoyment. Well, some people call it enjoyment according to the reactions on people's comments towards the post. They said these are the enjoyment politicians, the Aki and Popo political leaders of the era. And in that, the leaders of tomorrow, which we saw Honorable Mohammed Malam Dogo and Honorable Mahmoud Sadi Buba, were seen having friendly chats and discussion, holding themselves. Well, I wouldn't say much about it, but here is a clip of what happened, how they were seen hugging themselves and making their friendly chat. Let's watch. Well, to some, that was a very, very funny video. While to some people, they see it as unity, and they also see it as a referendum to, and also political participation to those who are physically disabled in the country. Well, they were having that chat in their local dialect in Hausa language. Those that know Hausa can be able to interpret and know what the discussion was all about. But all I wish them is success in their political ambition to ensure that their constituencies are being elevated from where it is now to the next position. Well, that is all we have for you in today's trending topics making headline. Coming up next is our Living Memory Alive, where we bring past histories down to today. Stay with us, and don't forget to also subscribe on all our social media handles at Living Television. Well, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Conversations shaping it right now. Remember, I am your host, Igwe Jekon Stanley, and here is the Living Memory Alive, then to now. We are starting with a tragic news that happened today in the year 2007. Today in the year 2007, which is where journalist convoy were tragically remembered in the tragic movement that happened in 2007, where Nigerian mourned the painful loss of 6 Nigerian journalists who died in fatal convoy accident in Shandam local government area. The journalists were part of the media team traveling alongside the convoy of former Joshua Dariye. Joshua Dariye was the former governor of Plateau State when the devastating crash occurred. The incident shocked the nation and highlighted the dangers journalists often face while carrying out their professional duties in pursuit of information and public service. The following media professionals were remembered today as dedicated voices of truth and democracy, whose commitment to journalism ultimately cost their lives. Today, the tragedy still remains a solemn reminder of the sacrifices made by members of the press in keeping the society informed. Well, I will have to chip in this, but I also pray that may their souls still continue to rest in peace. Since 2007, on this day 2007, they are being remembered. And I still believe that the Plateau State government, both the past and the current and the ones in future, should always remember to commemorate these loved heroes. It's very, very important, because we all should know that press work or journalism work, it is not an easy task. We risk our lives going to crime scenes. We risk our lives going to far distance to ensure that we get videos, we get accurate information and update across. And remember, here in Living TV, we can risk our lives. We can also risk our resources to ensure that we bring stories to your doorstep. Away from that, also on this day, we also remembering in the year 2006, where we have the third term agenda that ended. In 2006, Nigeria witnessed a defining moment in its democratic journey as the controversial third term agenda came to an end. The proposal contained a constitutional amendment bill which was sought to remove presidential term limits and would not allow them. Meanwhile, President Olusegun Obasanjo was the president then who had this interest to go for a third term in office. After months of intense political debates, public protests, and nationwide controversy, members of the Nigerian Senate and the House of Representatives voted against the amendment, effectively shutting down the plan. This decision was widely celebrated by many Nigerians as a victory for democracy, constitutional order, and the protection of presidential term limits. The rejection of the third term agenda remains one of the most significant political moments in Nigeria's Fourth Republic, reinforcing the principle that no leader is above the Constitution and the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, then this, I will have to appreciate and commend the Senate out of them for this. If not, because tell me why a president will have his first tenure, second tenure, and moving to the third tenure. Well, it was about to happen in that year 2006, where so many people celebrated when it was called off by the House of Reps and the lawmakers of Nigeria. Well, this all will package for you in today's newspaper analysis, trending topic, and the living memory alive, where we shall always bring your subsequent programs to you here on Living TV. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and mostly on YouTube at Living Television. Watch us live, share, comment, and drop your view. We shall get to them. And also don't forget that we are always ready to have you on our studio live appearance. Drop your adverts and publicity, mostly your political campaign, with us at Living TV. Let the world see what you are to offer. We are here to serve you, and we shall also make announcement that the Living Television is always ready to travel nationwide and outside Nigeria to cover your event, your birthday, your wedding, any funeral, or any other event or gathering that you need media coverage. We are always available to serve you. Keep watching Living TV. We are here to serve you. We shall bring to you our subsequent programs after this program. Thank you and have a wonderful day.